live in 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Vanessa Vs Files. Today we are on video because I thought, you know what? Why not let you see the new surroundings? We are in a totally different city, and actually it's my hometown, San Antonio, so I'm super excited to be home, excited to catch up with lots of friends, family, and also go to the places that have the best food because, come on, San Antonio has the best food. It just does. Like, you're not going to fight me on this, but I'm so glad to be here, and it's been, a long month of traveling. If you're not familiar, I've been traveling since about March 25th or so and going to various cities. We did in the heart of Dallas over near the Galleria at the Westin. We did Grand Prairie. We did Frisco. So kind of just bumping around North Texas. And now we're in the south of Texas. So who knows? We could be at the beach pretty soon. That would be a really fun day trip. But the weather has been so terrible. It's been super rainy and actually kind of cold. So Elizabeth Taylor, my dog, is not having it. She's not about it. But I digress. As you know, Vanessa the Vivacious Show has a soft challenge to Riverside with Vanessa the Vivacious versus Riverside. And what we do is that we take a look at various aspects of Riverside and test them out. So with that being said, let's go over to Vanessa the Vivacious versus Riverside, and we'll be back in a moment. Hey you guys, good morning and welcome to Vanessa the Vivacious versus Riverside. I'm utilizing an older episode just to show some examples, so I wanted to just let you know ahead of time this is an older one, not the one from this morning. Usually I do show the one from that current day. However, what I want to focus on today is static images. So as you know, sometimes I record the show on audio and then I add a static image to make it into a video podcast because I want it to be on multiple platforms and I want people to see it. So that being said, one thing I noticed about Riverside is that you can take your image and then you can stretch it out, but also you can duplicate it. If you look here, there's a copy button and then there is a duplicate button. So if I wanted to duplicate this, I totally could just by hitting that duplicate button, and then I can drag it over here so that way I have it on one timeline if necessary, and maybe it's needs to be a little longer, so I'll go ahead and extend it out, but that's an easy way to handle that. And then if you don't want to do that, just go ahead and hit that back arrow to undo what you've done and you are solid. You can also click on that particular frame on that static image and you can copy it, and then you can move very similar to a computer and you can paste it. You can hit Command V or Control V to paste it. But yes, I think that that's super awesome. In previous episodes, I remember saying, hey, I cannot duplicate this over and over and over. And so I was doing it. I was duplicating it, and being like, okay, dragging this and then dragging another one, especially if it's an hour-long episode. That's a lot of duplication and a lot of pasting. So I'm really excited to report that when you add your static image, and by static image, I mean a picture. So if you go to your media and you go to images, which is separate from videos, which is nice, go to images. Let's say I want to grab that one. So then I put it here and I can stretch it out however long I need it. I can move it to be connected to this other photo, not connected, but be next to, just so that way if I want to put in a transition, I totally can. Let me just make that bigger so you can see it. So yes, if I click on that, I can put a transition in. Well, actually it'd have to be down here, but I can put a transition and that way it'll look very seamless. So super excited about the fact that I can extend the images and not have to duplicate over and over and over, and then that would be the worst. So super enjoy that particular feature for Riverside, and just wanted to show you that if you're not already familiar. And again, reason for adding an image would be if you don't have a video episode, but you have an audio episode, you can add that image that you create in some other platform and then upload it. Go to your media, hit upload, and have it sitting there waiting for you. And then you can put it on your timeline. And when you export, you're going to see a video podcast with that particular image wherever it is that you put it. Now, keep in mind, you might have to extend the size because sometimes it'll come like small and it'll just be sitting in the center. So you do have to expand or, move it around so that way you actually have it in full frame depending on whatever your liking is. You might want to keep in the center, who knows, but you can always go back and hit that back button if you don't like it and adjust. So hope you enjoyed that little tidbit for Vanessa Vivacious versus Riverside. We will see you next time for another amazing tip. Who knows, there might be more notes, we might find stuff, we might break stuff, but join us next time on Vanessa Vivacious versus Riverside. Now back to the episode. And welcome back, everyone. Hopefully you enjoyed that little tidbit of Riverside, Vanessa versus Riverside. I am enjoying doing this little mini series, and I hope that you are too. If you have any questions about Riverside or any questions about the experience thus far with Riverside, please don't hesitate to ask in the comments or send me a topic that you'd like to look at. But thus far, Riverside is doing great things, and I can't wait to see what else they do with the year. I remember when they were pre-AI tool-based, and it was still a really good recording studio, and now they are just significantly better, doing amazing things, and I really look forward to seeing all the things that come in the future from Riverside. So to kind of catch up, like I said, we took a road trip from North Texas to South Texas, took about 5 hours. There was some rain in there. There was a lot of music in there, and I really didn't have a whole lot of time to think. You think I would think a lot while driving, but I really didn't. I just listened to music and had a good time with my dog. My dog actually wanted to jump in the driver's seat and drive for a minute, but I was like, Elizabeth, you're a dog. You don't have a license. And she was like, good point, Mom. So I drove the whole way. We stopped maybe twice, and we got here at about maybe 3 in the afternoon or so, checked into our hotel. Everything was great. And so thus far, we've been kind of resting. We took the day off yesterday, and that was really nice to just chill out and not really do a whole lot. Had lunch, had dinner, met with some folks, and it was just a really nice time. Now, before I started the road trip, I went to the car dealership to get my car serviced because safety first. If ever you go on a road trip and you haven't had your car serviced recently, highly recommend doing that. So that way, if your oil needs to be changed or filters need to be changed, check the brakes, check the tires, all that good stuff. Definitely a good idea to do that. So I did. While I was at the dealership, I met this really cool guy who is the director of some company, and he deals with corporate acquisitions, I believe. And so he was really passionate about his work, and I really liked what he had to say about his daily routine. But then I asked him if he could be doing something else, anything else, what would he be doing? And he actually said that, you know, he really enjoys how things work and solving problems for people and making them more efficient. And I could really see him starting his own firm. And he was just so excited by the way that he talked about problem solving and just helping people and being people first. And I really loved it. And so I made sure to tell him that he should totally start his own firm and branch off on his own because it makes him really happy. And he said, you know, I just might do that. So I really hope that he does do that. But it was really inspiring to talk to somebody in a totally different business vertical and to learn more about them. So I highly recommend talking to strangers in various business verticals and learning more about what they do and also asking questions about their passions, because it's really nice to see people light up. So as I said, we traveled to San Antonio. Yesterday, we went to church, and that was like going home. The church I grew up in, seeing people I grew up with, seeing the pastors, that was wonderful. And it was just the perfect peace. Of course, being in the house of God, being with people you love, what better way to spend a Sunday? After that, I went to lunch with a really good friend of mine who's like a little sister. I didn't raise her, but I grew up with her. And her mother and father were really good parents to me when I didn't have anyone around. And they had ran a Christian rock venue, and I got to work behind the bar at 13. And was I 13? I think I was maybe 14, 15. But it was a really amazing experience, and I just adored them. So that really saved me from going off on a path that I didn't need to be on. And so my sister is going to reopen that venue. And so there's a lot to do in regards to opening up a new business, trademarking brands, and then also just, you know, moving forward with the business plan. So she's working on all these things, but there has not yet been any movement, any traction other than stating this is what I want to do. And so we had this conversation, and I said, okay, you know, real talk. If you're going to do something, you have to start doing it. You have to do something. You need to go to the office for, you know, business association, start asking questions. You need to find out what the amount it would be to trademark your brand. You need to find out, you know, what you need to do to form your LLC. You need to move. You need to do something, because you cannot do nothing. how are you going to create this venue? How are you going to create this business venture if you don't do anything? So if you're in a place where you have a really great idea, do the research, but then start doing something toward it. Even if it's a small thing like registering the business or getting a business plan together, that is action. And with one action, you find you have another that follows it, and you just keep going, and then all of a sudden you're in business, right? So from that story, I just want to convey that action is important. While we say we want to do things and we dream of things, I believe there is a quote out there that speaks about dreamers and how the dreamers who do are the most dangerous because their dreams are realized. And it's very, very true. So if you have a dream, if you have a passion for something, disregard your feelings of inadequacy and just go do it. That's my huge message for today. After I talked with my friend, I went back to the hotel, had a nice nap, and then went to dinner with another friend. And that friend is someone that I grew up with. And so it was really nice to have dinner with them, talk about our lives, and then talk about other things like our divorces. So that was really interesting. And it just, I guess, the grand scheme overview, bird's eye view of the last 2 days, it really just gave me the impression that life is so precious and the people in our lives are so precious. I have another dear friend whose wife is on life support, and I got the message the other day and I could not help but feel just very, very heavy in the heart for him. And also I really enjoyed that he and his wife had the most loving marriage, and the way that they met and how he adored her. And I just can't imagine that all the years they shared together were just amazing and wonderful. And I hope to God that is what he holds dear, in his pain and his grief, is that they shared so many wonderful years together. And I hope to have that as well one day. So, my heart goes out to my friend and to his wife and their family. And I really just, pray peace and comfort during this time for them. So overall, the message of the day is life is precious. People are important. Those in your life that are close, parents, family, if you have, any kind of discourse with them, heal it, fix it, because they're only here for a certain time. You are only here for a certain time. And so it's important that you pave over the road, whatever it is that's causing issues for you, pave it over, because these people are so important. I come to town and it's always strange with the fact that my mother's no longer here. And so I wish she was. My friend the other day was talking about having issues with her mother, and I said, you may want to solve those really quickly, because one day she won't be here. And if you've not solved those problems by then, you'll feel pretty bad. You really will. And so I just encourage all of us to solve any issues that we have with people that are important to us, because we're not here very long, and we owe it to ourselves also to make the most out of life. Whatever it is that you want to do, whatever your passions are, find a way to do it, but actually take action on it. Take action every single day on it, whether it be really tiny, minute action or something big. It doesn't matter. Just take action every single day, because if that's what you're passionate about and if that's what you want to do, then you really ought to get started now, because we don't have much time. Not to say that I'm a doomsday person or something like that. Like, oh my God, we only have like a week left or a month left. Jesus is coming tomorrow. Like, what I'm trying to say is that we just don't have a lot of time on this earth. And so what we do matters. How you treat people matters. And it's just so important to love those around you, and also love strangers. Be kind to each other. Do good deeds for the sake of it being just a good thing to do for another human being. Not because there's a result or not because there's a payoff, but just because it's a good thing to do. It's the right thing to do to help your fellow human man. It's the right thing to open the door for someone, right thing to say good morning, how are you doing, and actually care about how someone's doing. So I highly encourage you to interact with your fellow humans, love those around you, and then also follow your passions and take action. I hope you guys have a wonderful day ahead. I'm looking forward to an appointment to talk about my experience in nonprofit. And then also I'm going to a spa appointment to go hang out in a sensory deprivation tank. So I'm so excited to see what pops out of my brain during that period. But above all, just taking that time for self-reflection and to heal, but also to experience peace and to de-stressify. Like, that is just so important, especially in this time that we live in where everything is so stressful. So whatever it is that helps you to de-stress, definitely do that. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for watching, and anything that you want to have discussed, questions, topics, please put them in the comments or send me a message and I'll be happy to add that to tomorrow's episode. This is Vanessa the Vivacious on Vanessa the Vivacious Files. Thank you guys so much for joining, and we'll see you tomorrow. Join us next time on Vanessa the Vivacious podcast, and don't forget to be vivacious.